I want to apologize for the noise in the background. That's my AC in my car. It's hot as hell in Texas. It's 95 degrees right now, so it's hot. Anyway, this video is about Brother Polight, man. I'm going to make it short and to the point. People should have already known about this guy. Should have already watched him kind of cautiously, because who his mentor was Dr. Malachi York, a man who was sentenced to 135 years for multiple crimes, including sexual assault or sexual molestation of a child. So you should have already been watching that guy kind of closely. That's like somebody saying they have a actual mentor, and their mentor was a Yuli bomber, and they come to find out that Yuli bomber was out there killing people and so forth because he had a rift with the government and so forth. Well, anybody with sensible have to kind of watch that person a little closer, because hey man, they might share the same type of ideologies as a Yuli bomber, so we got to watch him. But for some weird reason in the African community, I don't do colors, we don't do that. We kind of just elevate the people because they can speak well. I remember when Polight came on the scene many years ago, he used to talk about how many books he wrote and all that stuff, and many people say they got the books and it was just nothing more than copy and paste of other people's material, and they're missing some pages and so forth. And also, back in the same time, he used to talk about how he could speak up to 8 different languages, and he'd go out there and he'd rattle off something. Blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, well, if you could speak all these different languages and you alone can speak these languages, is it really a language? Who are you conversing with? But again, we don't really look at things deeply. We just look at it on the surface. Oh man, he sounds intelligent. He only sounds intelligent to people who don't know much. I hate to put it that way, but it's reality. So it sounds really knowledgeable to people who don't know nothing. And I never liked him from that. I never liked him when he came on the scene, all that fast talking and status correction, all that nonsense. I said, man, I didn't like that guy. People got mad at me for that. I said the same thing with Umar when he came on the scene talking about all them degrees he got. I never liked him, and I see why. He's another narcissist. I have a thing, I can spot them. Reason I can spot them because my father's a narcissist. 83 years old. Love him. Thank you very much, Pops. I love you. But from him, I have a PhD in spotting narcissists. I can spot them. Young Pharaoh, Umar, the list goes on and on and on. Brother Polight. Brother Polight is such a severe narcissist. He didn't have even the common sense to shut the hell up. You going through ongoing legal case right now as you speak. And instead of him just keeping his mouth shut, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. Yeah, come on social media trying to defend himself. Dude, this ain't the time and place. You got to practice tap. Tap means time and place. He didn't have the common sense. You know what? Whatever they say, let them say it. Because at the end of the day, guess what, Michael Nork? People are going to talk about you no matter what you do. And the fact that you're taking a plea on this case shows everybody that, hey, you can't beat the case. Because if you know you're 100% innocent, you're going to fight. You can kick and scream, hell no, I'm not taking no kind of plea. I ain't doing this crap, hell no. But the fact you took a plea, which means you couldn't beat the case. I mean, you're so smart, you're dumb. Let's be honest with you, man. But this is someone who people actually elevate to a higher level. Let me tell you a true story here real quick. Unless this young girl get help, she can be mentally scorned. People might say, no, she have time, she young. No, that's bullshit. Let me tell you how it works. Now, true story. When I was in college many years ago, I had a speech class. The lady said, if you want to get extra credit, you can go over here and listen to this person speak. Now, you will go to these different events so the person don't have an empty classroom when they come to speak. Okay, so that's no problem. I don't need the credit, but why not? I might learn something. I'm glad I went. I'm really glad I went. So when the presentation starts now, the lady said, I've been giving these presentations for over 25 years. It never fails. Someone always come up after the presentation and said they were sexually assaulted because she's giving a presentation about sexual assault. I'm thinking I'm much younger than. I said, man, yeah, right. That's what I thought to myself. I said, ain't no way every time you give a presentation somebody can come up and say they were sexually assaulted. Well, about 75% way through the presentation, I had an African-American woman behind me. I noticed she put her sunglasses on. Me, still not clocking. I'm looking around, I said, well, the classroom is bright, but it ain't that damn bright. I didn't get it. So more time went on. She started sniffling. My dumb ass, I'm like, the class is cold, but it ain't that goddamn cold. I couldn't get it. My brain wasn't working in that level. It wasn't until after the presentation, the lady came up and she said, I was one of those children who was molested. She said, first by her father at 12 years old, and then again by her uncle at 14 years old. Now, this is when I learned something very, very valuable about the human mind. Now, I see this lady's she looked about 30-something years old. When I tell you she was boo-hooing, I mean boo-hooing. So much that some of the other ladies in the class were thinking back. All the ladies in the class, when they consoled her, she was crying so bad. I said, well, damn. That's when I learned something. I said, one, the lady was right. Two, the human mind does not care about time. It only records occurrences. Good or bad, that's what it remembers, not the time. So when someone tells you something happened X amount of years ago, get over it, they don't know what they're talking about. The brain doesn't work that way. That's why you could remember something happened to you 20 years ago or 5 years ago that was good, and you get that same feeling again like it just happened. Well, the flip side to that is if you have something that happened to you, bad happens to you, your brain could take you right back to that same place again. You feel like it just happened to you. Because the brain doesn't care about time. It only cares about occurrences. That's all it cares about. The time factor doesn't mean anything. Okay? So when I say that little girl's going to be scorned for life, that's what I mean. She's going to be scorned for life. She's going to need a whole lot of therapy, and she's still going to be scorned for life. So much so that she might turn into a lesbian. I mean, let's be real. She just might. That might just happen. So the fact that some of you supporting this guy and so wait for the results to come. No. If it is what they say it is, and it's looking like it is what it say it is because of what he's taking a plea, and the fact that Sarnetta knew about it, Frankie, whatever his name is, he knew about it, because he even called him baby Dr. York. So you kind of implying that you knew something about it, and you're still cool with that dude. You still talk to him almost every 2 weeks. Again, some of you elevate these people because, like I said in my previous video, you look at people who have material wealth but don't have any spiritual wealth or don't have any mental wealth. And material wealth without spiritual wealth or mental health is not that much. You're always going to get yourself in trouble. Always. And a narcissistic person too is a person you cannot really build anything on. You can't have anything with them because they don't have self-accountability. Nothing is never wrong. They don't do nothing wrong. You can't work with a person like that who's always in the right. Nothing's wrong. They're always the victim of anything. And it's good. Even when he came out in his social media posts, look what he did, put himself as a victim. Some of you didn't see that, but that's in the first couple sentences, he done flipped it, boom, to the victim. I said, damn. I mean, I could spot it, like I said, because my father is a severe narcissist. He's 83 years old, so believe me, I can spot it a mile away, male or female. But I just want to say that, man. Say that all that I said. Say some of you guys got to be careful of who you idolize, man. The same thing when I said I didn't care too much for Polight. Back then, I got in trouble because I could see what he was. Talking all this status correction, all that bull crap. Let me tell you, people like him is what led to that young lady, Corinne Gaines, being not here no more. Because she followed that ideology of status correction. You don't need a license plate and all that crap in your car. She made herself a target to the police. She didn't have to do all that stuff if she didn't believe that stuff. You see, she had somebody like me in her life as a mentor, a real mentor. I said, look, girl, you live in America, you better put a license plate in your car, okay? You better have a driver license, okay? This is America. It's in somewhere you could just make up the rules as you go along, okay? Do you want to drive a car? Make sure your car is registered. Make sure you have a license plate in your car. End of discussion. End of discussion. Make sure you have a license. End of discussion. Ain't no status correction. I'm a sovereign citizen. That's bullshit. Okay? That stuff don't fly in America. You're making yourself a target. Especially if you're of the African extraction. You're making yourself a target. Don't do that. Since you had a real mentor like me in her life, she'd still be here. Because there will be no need for the cops to come to a house because you got cause and effect. You see, all the different causes was the driving around, the license plate problem when under the car and all that stuff. It made her a target, made her a target, and boom, the cops came to the house and we all know the rest of the story. Okay? Be careful what you listen to on the social media. You have to be really careful. And people should have been watching Polight from many years ago. You should have been watching that dude for who his advisor was. Malachi York. You should have been watching that guy, man. Been watching him. I mean, that goes without saying. You should have been watching that guy. But all too often, we in the African community, I don't care if you find us in the Caribbean, in South America, in North America, on the continent, I don't care where you find us. Some of us are always going to fall victim to that because we like to hear people say things that sounds good. It's no different to the pastor, man, talking all that talk, sleeping with different women in the church. It's no different. They're saying the same thing. Okay, same thing. Even the other guy, Eddie Long out there, talking all that talk. Even when he was sick, he talking about he on some special diet. Yeah, diet, all right. You're on a diet, all right. Couldn't even admit the truth. But I get it. So I'm gonna wait and see what they say that the plea was, and he gonna have to fix the crime. He gonna have to fix the time by himself. All you supporters, not one of you gonna take any time away from him. I can guarantee that. Not one of you gonna say, "Well, nah, Judge, you know what? I'm one of his supporters. Give me 5 of his years, Your Honor. Give me 5 of his years. I'm not gonna let him." Nah, you gonna be like, "Shit, that's on him." Okay, but some of you support him because I kind of question. I gotta question you. If you supporting them, then what are you doing, man? You out there doing that kind of thing? You attracted to them young ladies too, man? I mean, what's up with that? I don't even understand that type of Anyway, that's a whole different ball game, man. I can't even fathom that. I got a 14-year-old going to 15, and my oldest is 21 going to 22. If my wife and I was to get a divorce, man, I couldn't even talk to a 20-something-year-old, man. I gotta talk to the lowest I probably might go is 30 at best. Like, well, what I'm gonna have in common with a 24-year-old? Damn sure, what the hell would I have in common with a 14-year-old? I couldn't even bring myself. Man, hey, we all different, man. It's a sickness. It really is a sickness. But hey, we're gonna find out. And Polight, no matter what you say, you ain't gonna frighten anybody out of talking about you, brother. Hate to tell you that, but yeah, especially when you go to prison, brother. If you get prison time, you know they're gonna be clanging your ass big time, just like that fellow Nature Boy, Eligio Bishop, just like him. Oh, it's really funny, man. It's really funny. All these different guys are on the same circuit. And see, the funny thing, not only can I spot the narcissism, I can spot that people have sexual deviance. Just like him, you have multiple wives. And that multiple wives is an excuse to have just be a sexual deviant. Not saying in all cultures, because I know some parts in Africa and different places, they have multiple wives. I'm not admonishing people who have multiple wives, but the ones over here in America, a lot. Not saying all. A lot of those brothers out here just doing it because they're sexual deviants. That's what it is. They're sexual deviants. They want to cheat, but they're trying to make it be legit cheating. You know, I'm gonna just marry a lady, but you're not really married on any papers. Just, you know, like, I guess, word of mouth marriage. And I get it. Some people don't want to go through the legal process. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But a lot of that stuff, kind of, to me, is a red grenade. Like, not even a red flag, like a red grenade. Like, yeah, there might be something a little bit wrong with you, man, because you kind of leaning towards kind of a little bit of perversion there, you know. And like I say, it's multiple guys. They're saying the first guy, because I've been watching this space for a long time. I remember a guy used to be living in the bushes, King Noble or something. He was the same kind of sexual deviant to multiple women. So you see a pattern, man. You see a pattern. You watch it long enough, you're like, yeah. You kind of see it for what it is. But all too often, there are always going to be people who fall victim to that. Because I think something psychologically is wrong with some people. They're looking for something. And I don't know what it is, to tell you the truth, but they so badly want to be a part of something that that's all they can just do is latch on to some of these deviants. They know they got problems. You can see the problems in them, but they just seem to be attracted to them. Well, this video ran on long enough, and I've talked long enough. I'm going to sit and wait for the results to come out.